evening, everyone. It's time again for another episode in My Shot. If you recall, the last time we were together, we were talking about creation. God creating the heavens and the earth, excuse me, in 6 literal days, as opposed to what is known as scientific materialism, which would declare that the universe itself is somewhere between 12 and 14 billion years old, and that the planet Earth is 4.5 billion years old, and that life evolved over that time period. Of course, the Genesis chapter 1 suggests that everything occurred in a 6-day period of time, 24 hours, and it was evening, and it was morning, and it was the first day, the second day, the third day, etc. Now, what I would like to do today is I'll be reading to you from a book called The God's Honest Truth. It's a book of my own authorship, and so I'm not reading from someone else's material, but these are my own points of view and knowledge that I have acquired over the years in the areas of both science and religion. And what I've written says, it is generally accepted by cosmologists, those involved in the study of the universe, that the temperature of the cosmic microwave background throughout that universe is very nearly isotropic. Now that means when you look at different patches of the cosmic microwave background, that their temperatures are the same within 1 part to 10,000 parts. Now this would actually be quite unlikely. In fact, it would be virtually impossible if the universe started from an innermost explosion billions of years ago, with all the particles moving out simply at the speed of light. And that's a constraint that's been put on science since Einstein's theory of relativity, that the speed of light is a constant. It is the fastest we can travel, or that anything can travel, and we will soon find that to be now disparaged by science itself. Even traveling at the speed of light, it stands to reason that external portions of the universe, those portions furthest from the center of the explosion, would by now be appreciably cooler than the inner areas, which remain closer to where the event took place. Well, since this isn't the case, why is there relatively uniform temperature throughout the entire universe? The most prevalent argument meant to resolve the difficulty is the theory that science calls inflation. This suggests that at the onset of the Big Bang, materials in the cosmos were actually moving outward faster than the speed of light, a belief formerly held to be impossible, as I just said. It theorizes that an extremely voluminous and rapid exponential expansion of the universe took place at the rate of 10 to the 78th power in volume, driven by a negative pressure vacuum energy density. That means it was moving out into a vacuum, so of course it was moving faster than would normally occur. This event lasted from 10 to the minus 37th second after the Big Bang to sometime between 10 to the 33rd second. Following that period, the universe continued to expand at the rate currently determined by modern scientists. So what does that all mean, you say, Laird? That was an awful lot of jargon. It means that according to science, the entire universe achieved its initial development in less than 10 seconds. That's the entire universe developing in less than 10 seconds, allowing it to cool in all of its immense areas unilaterally. The question we are left with then is, why couldn't God have created the same expanse in 6 days? Obviously, he's taking more time. According to quantum physics, no matter how thorough our observations of the present are, the unobserved past, which is what we're dealing with, something we've never seen, the unobserved past, like the future, is always indefinite and exists only as a spectrum of possibilities. That means what we think it might be. The universe, according to quantum physics, has no single past or history. And that just strikes me, first of all, as baloney. Everything has a single past. It may not have a single history. It may have multiple histories, but a single past is a single past. But this idea that the universe does not have a unique, observable, independent history might easily allow us to see God as its source, as opposed to hydrogen acting in the same way. To our observation, representing billions of years, but in reality, not being billions of years. Now, one might suggest that there seems to be room for discussion on the matter, yet when it comes to the subject of God, no such room is ever allowed. Science believes what science believes, yet they assert themselves that they have no discernible evidence to lead them to that conclusion, because the past itself is undiscernible. That means unknowable. So if the past itself is unknowable in the finite portions or the minute portions of its formation, then how can they say that God didn't create the heavens and the earth in 6 literal days? Once again, I thank you for your time in listening to this, and we'll have more on this subject later. Don't forget to turn to Answers in Genesis if you would like further information on the subject. Thank you very much.